In a world that profits off doing the bare minimum to siphon your attention, right? To keep you distracted in the most shallow of engagements, right? That just keep your energy, what's the word? Diffuse, right? They diffuse your energy in so many different directions that it's hard to even gain a sense of your own center and maintain awareness. In that world, your depth in your presence is always felt. It's always felt. And let me tell you, every time someone comes into contact with it, whatever world they were in, immediately there's the shift, right? There's the them that they knew themselves to be, and when they come into contact with you, that's that mirror of what it could be, you know? And this is me not gassing you. I'm speaking as someone who has regularly experienced, knocking people, I'll say, back into their center, not off their center. Because I know how it feels like to roam around the world and your attention is being pulled from every direction, right? It's being pulled in every which way. And your depth in an environment that is so scattered, in such shallow engagement, it's always refreshing, but it may not always be welcomed. And that's what I caution you. I caution you with that, because it's really become, for me, it's become something that I've grown to accept. I've grown to accept that, man, look, there's only so much performing I can do for someone before the mask becomes too heavy for me to continue wearing. And I know that resonated with someone, right? This is a collective that we're growing in this space that, I've been blown away by the comments that y'all have been leaving on these videos, because it's clear that just my candid insights, right? My streams of consciousness, I was here thinking, oh, there's no way it'll be too deep, or it'll be too much, or it'll be too detailed, or people will feel like it's fake deep, or no, clearly people are resonating on this exact same frequency. So we're creating a safe space in this channel for us to start discussions in the comments. And just like that, by the way, I haven't even introduced myself. My name is Simba Lumen. I'm a music artist. I just dropped an EP about a month and a half ago. I'll leave that in the description, but you can do what you will with that. Back to the topic, which is your depth is always felt. That presence is always felt in a world full of shallow engagements. Look, especially in a world of, the hookup culture world, where people want to do the most intimate thing you could probably do with someone, but they'll do it with a stranger. They'll do it with someone they barely really know. You know what I mean? They'll do it with someone they don't even really know like that. And it's become clear to me that the world is encouraging the shallow behavior as long as it generates commerce, right? As long as it gets you out there spending money on something, even if it's just gas, right, to whoever's crib, that's what it does, right? Because the moment we start to reclaim our awareness and deepening our sense of presence, that is when all this other stuff around us, it's not that it loses its significance, because we're still in this world and we actively grapple against the distractions of it. But it's almost like it loses, no, it's not almost like, the distractions of the world begins to really lose its pull on us, because we see, because we're so deep, because we're so accustomed to dealing with the murky, shadowy depths of us, we see, man, none of this is really worth my attention. None of this is really worth my attention. And that's the thing about people like us, is that you may be the type that actually struggles with shallow conversations, with surface level conversations, with small talk. I know that I had to learn how to do that, and I'm still learning it, right? I'm still learning it. But if you want to go deep, if you ask me a question on childhood trauma, like as your first question, and I don't even know you, I'll immediately be right. I'll be right there with you. We'll be locked in like that. We'll go thunk, 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 like that. But from the weather and from whatever party and from whoever lost the game and won the game, and I don't give a fuck about none of that. I really don't care, right? So I will say there is an art to small talk. There is an art to witty banter. And I'll admit that I'm enjoying the process of learning it. But I'll also say that I'm only doing that because initiating with depth is extremely rare, you know? And with that said, it's just become such a... I'll be honest, I used to see my depth as a burden. Not only on me, because dang, I'm always thinking of processing my trauma. I'm always thinking of healing. I'm always thinking of my attachment styles and how I relate to other people. I'm always just like thinking of this thing. And I'm trying to improve, and there's very little lightheartedness, you know? And that's part of the reason why I started making these videos, is because I need to speak. Like, I need to speak, and I need to feel like I'm not alone. And I know that I'm not alone, you know? I know that this video is going to get at least a dozen comments from people being like, yo, I resonate. Like, I've been feeling this exact same way, and I just want you to know that you are not alone, that we are here. There are people, right, among us all, among the, you know, in the midst of all the distractions in this world that's pulling us in every which way. There are people in this world who appreciate depth, who appreciate someone that is making the effort to not stay surface level with their human experience, right? I promise you, this has become such a liberating time for me to really accept that, listen, I'm wired this way. Some people are wired to, you know, be in social settings, kind of recharge in that way. And that may be you too, right? I'm just saying, for me, it may be something that, for me, I don't recharge in social settings. I slowly get depleted in social settings. I start to recharge in isolation. But that isolation, it's not always healthy. It's not always healthy, especially if prolonged. Take it from someone who went through increasing levels of isolation throughout several years, right? It's not, even if you're self-improving, that's beautiful, continue doing that, but get out there into the world, you know? So back to the topic at hand, and it's that even though you feel like, or you may feel like, man, it's so hard to meet people. When I meet them, it's so hard to really form like a bond, because I'm always here with it, and they're always up in the clouds, or they're always on the surface with it. The people we do bond with are of such high quality that it really outweighs. It really outweighs. Look, not to get into like the whole rap beef stuff, because this is not that type of channel, but I'm a huge Kendrick supporter. My favorite album of all time is To Pimp a Butterfly. And that's coming from someone who didn't even really like the album the first, second, third playthrough. I play albums from front to back. I love that, right? I didn't really, it was really like it's cool. It's not like it was a bad album, but it was a challenging listen, and it grew into my you know, the greatest album of all time for me, right? But anyway, you see how Drake he released 3 albums, which I must say, I'm impressed. When someone releases that much music all at once, it's always impressive. Whether it's mid, whether it's like, it's, you know, it's Drake. You're gonna get, no one expects depth from Drake. You're gonna get what Drake does best, right? But I'm making this point to say, out of the 43 songs that he posted, the 12 songs that Kendrick made in GNX outweighed it, in my opinion. I haven't listened to the whole thing, but I've listened to like 5 of the new Drake songs, and I'm like, all right, like I get it. It's vibey, it's cool, it's catchy. I'm not mad at it. It's catchy, it's cool, beats are nice, but it's no real substance, really. It's nothing really that I would want to play again unless I'm in a club. You know what I mean? Which I don't really like clubs like that, you know? So, yeah, I say all that to say, in that same way, you may feel like, oh my God, people are out here and they have like, you know, they're outside with like 6 of their friends, and oh my God, it looks so nice to be like that. Believe me, I was feeling like that just earlier today. Like, man, it looks like such a nice experience to be able to just vibe out with friends like that. You know what I mean? And then at the same time, I'm like, but I know that God, we believe in God over here. I'm not a Christian, I'm not a Catholic, I'm not any of the Abrahamic religions. I'll make a separate video about that. But we believe in God, right? And the goddess, right? We believe in that. So I believe that God has me on a trajectory, has us on a trajectory where we accumulate so much energy through the internal work that when we do find someone that we can really bond with, oh, that bond is like this. That bond is locked in. I'm not gonna say the rest. If you know, you know. You know that funny video, locked in. So I'm just popping in to tell you that, man. Or woman, right? Ladies, of course, you're welcome. I know that usually it's not super common when you see a guy running the YouTube channel. It's usually a bunch of guys. I'm not mad at it. When it's a woman running a YouTube channel, it's usually a bunch of women. Actually, sometimes it's a bunch of guys. Never mind. Let me not even go there, right? I just want to say that I appreciate every single one of you, not only for watching this video, but for being who you are and maintaining this level of depth, which, to be honest, we can't even really help. At this point, we've gone too far into the shadow work, too far into the rabbit holes. You know, we've spiraled up and down so many times. We've descended and ascended the ladder so many times that there's no way that we could just now stay surface level. You know what I mean? At least for an indefinite amount of time. We probably could play that role in certain situations, but I just appreciate you for, again, if I haven't said it, I feel like I have said it, but if I haven't said it, for always seeking to deepen your sense of presence and always seeking to distill the insights out of the human experience that, as of right now, is characterized for the most part with interactions of a shallow nature, with distractions coming from every which way. You know, just know that you are appreciated, that you are seen, especially in this channel. Let's start the discussion over in the comments. Let me know how you feel about this, right? Let me know how you feel about this. Feel free to share, subscribe. There's new videos basically every day or most days a week, right? I try to take like a day off, but I've been loving making these videos, and I love even more the responses that I've been getting from you. So I just want to say thank you, and I look forward to sharing something else with you soon. This is Sin Volumen.